Welcome to Crossing the Aisle on this lovely Tuesday here in the Women's Wellness and Men's Health Studio of Mississippi. Is that right,
Men's
Lindsay?
health and women's wellness.
Oh, I gotta say men's health first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I thought I'd get in trouble if I used men first, right? I thought you're supposed to say
Well, I
women
mean, we
first.
all know women are better.
That's what I
But
figured,
it does come first on the sign. So
So we're going with that.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll go with
So
that.
we are in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Studio of Mississippi here in lovely Florida, Mississippi, for another edition of Crossing the Aisle. This will be, by the way, our last episode for the week. We're going to be in Hawaii until Monday. So unfortunately for us, right? And we'll have, I think Kingfish said he's going to come in here and host a little bit. And then there might have some other people standing in, and we really appreciate all that. So, but we got some interesting topics today, Lindsay. A couple of things I noticed there were Lindsay and I talking about. She's really involved in obviously the parental rights and education stuff, and there's a little controversy going on in Oklahoma with the superintendent of education there, as well. Butler Snow has been popped for using AI in their court filings in Alabama. Of course, Butler Snow is a very large law firm. It's in here in Mississippi and Alabama. They got, I believe, sanctioned. We'll get into that. There's a great article if you want to read it on Jackson Jambalaya regarding that. And then Trump says he has never been to Epstein's Island, which was in. I thought about that because I saw that on the way over here. And Lindsay and I actually ended up watching the Epstein documentary last night.
Against my will.
Yeah, the whole thing. And it's a one from 2020. It's actually, Lindsay, I thought it was really worth it though. I really am glad we watched it.
So I started it back when it first came out. Us far right conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
We were all up into the Epstein stuff when y'all were saying that we were liars and nothing ever happened like that.
Well, we were saying you're liars, and you were saying it's a cabal of Democrats, and like that's what we were saying. You guys were liars.
But I started it, and I think I watched the first episode, maybe got into the second. It just is so dark and
It's
so
pretty dark.
and so heavy, and I couldn't. I was watching it by myself, and I just couldn't handle it. I had to turn it off.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a lot to take. I thought the whole thing. I didn't realize, I'm not, obviously, like you said, I thought it was a big conspiracy theory, which is true. I'll admit that I didn't understand.
Go ahead and say it.
I
was wrong. You were right.
You're right. You were not right about the Democrat eating babies cabal, though. So,
no, it's not babies. It's adrenochrome.
Well, but you all were pushing the theory that this was a big Democrat cabal, which is it looks like everybody's involved in this.
I mean, well, I've always said that.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the rights narrative has been
that there are going to be a lot of powerful names from both sides that we find out were involved in this.
Well, you may have said that, but the rights narrative on this has been that it's the Democrats and they push that. Now it looks like everybody's involved in this. I mean, the amount of people is just shocking, and the amount of women that they brought over there, and the biggest thing, I guess we can get into that, is how he got away with that first set in 2008, that plea deal he had with Alexander Acosta, who was the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida, appointed by George W. Bush at the time. That to me is shocking.
The biggest takeaway from watching the documentary for me was
all you gotta do is be rich and play football.
No,
do you think so?
No. Parents, talk to your children. Talk to your children. Like, they need to know that they need to know what's inappropriate. They need to know the signs of groomers. They need to know what's okay and what's not. They need to know they have someone to talk to. They need to know that they can be open and honest about what's happening, and if there's someone they can trust. Parents, talk to your children, especially your girls. Shaun, I feel like we needed Aaron Spencer to break up in Epstein Island and just take all those mother effers out.
Yeah, the one that was shocking to me,
Aaron Spencer,
Oh yeah, Aaron Spencer guy. Yesterday we talked about him who shot the guy that had sexually assaulted his kid and then retook her again. And I mean, we'll be talking about that over the next few weeks. Pretty good bit.
By the way, YouTube is the algorithm is not allowing any content on Aaron Spencer to be distributed.
Really? Why is that?
There's somebody wants this covered up.
Yeah, I mean, we got, I did those shorts and we got thousands of views on the shorts, so about it with all the hashtags for it. So I don't know. I'm gonna look into that today. And Aaron Spencer is the guy that killed the sex predator that had abducted his daughter, which we all agree with. And if you listen to yesterday's show, that's the entire show is about Aaron Spencer. But here, Lindsay, what I kept remembering, I read about it again this morning, was the 3 12-year-olds that they flew in from France that for Epstein to Palm Beach, and then flew them back like the next day. And I'm like, I mean, this thing was just a well-running child sex operation. It's
Disgusting.
just unbelievable. And I was also watching the whole thing. I was thinking about Epstein. Like, how did you become that evil? With all, because it wasn't just kids, it was adults he was raping. It was everybody. He kind of like was a equal opportunity rapist, molester kind of guy. Like he took advantage of all women. And even to the point they said a lot of his wealth may have derived from Wexner, excuse me, who is the CEO of the Limited, which owns Victoria's Secret. I used to call it Secrets the other day, and Lindsay corrected me as well.
Yeah, he said secrets. I was like, no.
Yeah, as well as those retail outlets that the Limited
Kroger's and Walmart's.
And they asked
Targets
Epstein in that, yeah, right. Oh, that's it. They asked Epstein if he had, had a homosexual affair with Wexner, and I think he took the Fifth Amendment to that. I believe that's right. So, I mean, there may have been something. So maybe he had. That's only.
He took the what?
The Fifth Amendment.
Say again.
The Fifth Amendment. Fifth. What? Did I say it wrong?
Fifth.
Okay.
I always laugh when you say that.
I tell my clients to say it enough. You think I know how to say it.
I always laugh when you say that because you say that word. It's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't pronounce the T or something. So he took that. So I guess that was the only instance of like a homosexual relationship that I've seen with Epstein. Maybe there were more, but he just seemed like it was young women and, overage. It was all of them in this big cabal. And then he's got this island, and I never seen the island because, again, I not paid attention to the details of this.
But nobody went there. All of a sudden, nobody went there.
Yeah, like nobody's.
I didn't go there. I didn't go to the island.
Yeah, nobody's been there, and there's pictures of Bill Clinton there all the time. I mean,
I did not have sexual relations on that island.
I mean, yeah, if anybody's going to sell to me that Bill Clinton didn't, I'm sorry, that I'm not going to believe. Like I have no problem admitting that I think Bill Clinton definitely had sexual relations with somebody on that island at some point. I'm guessing. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming just his history.
How effed up in the brain do you have to be Ghislaine and to be his girlfriend, I guess, but to be bringing him? What the heck is wrong with her?
Yeah, she's obviously, I mean, he found the perfect partner, like someone that was equally as like mental as he is, or whatever, sexually deviant or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, how did these two get connected? Because her family is a very wealthy family from England.
Yeah, I mean, she had money. Yeah, what possessed her to do this? And I'm not really a fan of the death penalty, but I would celebrate her execution. I mean, that is terrible what she did to these girls.
Awful.
She gained their trust. I mean, that is the definition of grooming. She gained their trust, knowing that she is about to serve them up as meat to these men. Disgusting.
She's almost worse than he is, really.
Yeah,
in my mind.
And she's a woman.
Yeah. What is that supposed to make it better? You're not supposed to do that.
No, I'm not saying that, but it's like these are girls, and she's a woman, and I can't wrap my head around it. I can't understand crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's what's interesting now, because there's all this floated talk about would she get a pardon, and the president says,
she better not.
And well, if you turn on, like, if you see Newsmax and those stations, they're already, have I shown you this yet? They're already framing her as the victim.
How is she a victim?
I swear to God, I got to show you this after the show, and y'all look at it. You can look at the clips of this.
That infuriates me. There are many victims here. She is not one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. I meant to send that to you this morning. So Newsmax, y'all, is trying to set this up that Ghislaine, whatever way you pronounce Ghislaine, I'm going to call her Ghislaine Maxwell, is the victim of Epstein. But to me, it doesn't seem like that, because she already had money, so he didn't have that over her. No, she had plenty of money. Like,
she did this on her own free will. It was
like
stalking a predator, and it's like a game.
That's exactly right.
Can I gain their trust and get them here? And I'll score more points with the younger I bring the girls. The younger they are, I'll score more points with Jeffrey. What is? Ugh.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think that's exactly what happened, because it just she didn't. It wasn't like, so a lot of those girls, y'all, needed the money. Like, he used, just like money is power. Money can do a lot of things. So he'd meet these girls and say, hey, I'm going to pay for your college. I'm going to put you up in a apartment. And these are broke girls that are, a lot of them were above 18, and these are the ones that were giving interviews, and some were obviously under 18. But yeah, he's got money. He's this rich guy. I mean, he's got endless money, and so that's what he had over them their whole lives.
Well, yeah,
but
and then
Maxwell,
you get to go to this big place, this big nice
private jet
island,
to the
and
island.
There's a prince there. I mean, who wouldn't want to go live that life?
Sounds awesome. I totally get how the allure of that is.
Yeah.
I always wonder, though, I guess they're so young, but don't they realize, like, there's got to be a catch to this, But I guess I didn't know.
He was so sick in the mind. He would that call him to massage him and rub his feet, and it just makes me cringe. I can't even hardly stand to listen to it, much less speak it.
Well, and also the interesting thing to me was his background, how this guy had gone to college, had dropped out. He had lied about because back then in the 70s, you could lie about your resume. It's not as easy to check it out as it is today, and got like a college professorship job and was a good teacher, apparently, from all accounts. And then was recommended by.
What was he teaching?
I think something to do with finance. And I then was recommended by some people at the college to Bear Stearns, which an investment bank, and they hired him, and they then eventually found out that he lied on his resume, and they said, oh, you know what? The guy, he talked him out of it because they're like, well, this guy's a pretty good at what he does. And they kept him on, even though he'd lied about his credentials. So this guy had like run a scam his whole life. And I was listening to, it's funny, two people had set this theory. Well, not one to me, one I watched on TV. So my dad calls me up the other day and he said, I know how Epstein got his money. I said, Dad, what do you think? He's like, he's a pimp. That's how he's like, I've known these guys throughout the world that have met them over by, he's from Turkey. And he said, that's all. I was like, really? You think he just from straight pimping, not investment banking, stock trading, whatever? They're like, no, these guys make a ton of money. Well, then Bill Maher said the same thing yesterday on his show. He said, I know if you know how a guy that you don't know how he got his money and he's got all these women, there's only one way he can do it. And the guest was like, what's that, Bill? And he said, he's a pimp. So he's a pimp. So I thought Bill Maher and my dad had the same opinion. It's funny to me.
The backstory is that he was like self-made.
Yeah, he's a con artist, self-made guy that threw himself into these positions. Eventually, he got fired from Bear Stearns and then became a pimp, it seems like, where he went around and started, arranging all these girls for rich and powerful people. That was when he got hooked up with Les Wexner, who's, again, the CEO of Limited. And then it just spiraled from there. And so you could see that he had a whole international operation running girls for the rich and powerful. And that's how he ended up with all this wealth, which is, like I said, my dad said it to me. I kind of was laughing. And then Bill Maher said it. And I was like, oh, God, it's okay. There's more people than my dad that just believe this. So, but yeah, it seems like that was the way he did it. But, back to the thing, like, I'll show you the Newsmax clips. They're setting things up to make it seem like Maxwell is a victim, because if she gets a pardon, then it's not as bad. But I think people's heads are going to explode if she gets a pardon. How do you justify that?
There's no justification for that whatsoever. That cannot happen.
That's, I think that's why this time it's time to call in a special prosecutor that could be unbiased in this thing. I think, because it's looking like a political cover up. If you do that, if the president gives her a pardon, it's not going to go up well.
So she'll get a pardon for what? Talking?
Yeah, I guess for her, like, yeah, right, for giving up whoever else she's going to give up, whatever rich and powerful people she's going to give up. That's what I assume the deal would be.
What if the people she's given up are the people pardoning her?
That's the problem, and that's what the implication is going to be. If the president pardons her, people are going to say, well, was she going to give him up, and that's why she's getting a pardon? And that's going to be, that's just going to be out there, whether it's true or not. Like, people are going to think
normally you give information and then you get a pardon. In this case, it might be if you keep the information silent and quiet, we'll give you a pardon.
It's kind of, right, a cover up kind of situation. I think that's why it's going to be hard for the president to give her a pardon and it not to look shady. I just think it's going to be hard to do that.
I don't think there's any way he's going to give her a pardon.
You don't know. It depends on how bad this information is and how worried he is about it coming out. If he's even, I don't know. I don't know you don't know. I don't know, right? Whether his extent of his involvement.
Yeah, because I keep saying his name being in the file means nothing. We knew that. We know the names that were on the flight logs. Like, to me, this is a bunch of riffraff, and just release the daggum client list. And then that's the only thing that's going to satisfy.
Yeah, it seems like that. Well, we'll be back on the next segment to discuss more of Maxwell becoming the victim and whether the president is going to pardon her here on Crossing the Aisle.
.1039 WYAB.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Are you looking to get stronger, fitter, and push your limits? CrossFit Fondren is where Jackson trains. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, our expert coaches and supportive community will help you crush your goals. Join us for high-intensity workouts that build strength, endurance, and confidence. No gimmicks, just real results. Try your first class today for free. Visit us at CrossFitFondren.com or stop by the gym, 3002 North Mill Street in Jackson, in the heart of Fondren.
Where do you stand in the pro-life community? If you're passionate about protecting the sanctity of life from fertilization to natural death, please join us at Pro-Life Mississippi as we make a difference and save lives right here in our own state. Pro-Life Mississippi is a community of individuals dedicated to equipping others to value all human life, including the preborn, those with disabilities, and the elderly. Our mission is simple: to provide unwavering support, education, and advocacy for the preborn, their families, and other vulnerable children and adults. If you're just starting your pro-life journey or you have been an advocate of life for many years, Pro-Life Mississippi needs your voice and talents to save lives in Mississippi. Together, we can make a difference in building a stronger pro-life Mississippi. Learn more about us at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Be part of the community that celebrates each and every human life.
Attention homeowners and business owners. Complete Exteriors is now Elite Roofing and Gutters. Are your roof and gutters storm ready? The folks at Elite are your local experts in storm protection. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Get up to a possible $250 rebate on a new roofing system for all active military, veterans, and retirees. Online at eliteroofer.com.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
And we're back on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey, where, Lindsey, you know what I realized during the last segment?
What?
It's hot outside today.
It is very hot.
And you know what you need when it's hot outside? What do you need?
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning. And where you need to, if you need to get your air conditioner
It's
repaired,
snow cones.
where would you go?
Duh. Pure Air Consultants.
Pure Air Consultants. Y'all ever wonder why your AC has stopped working? The common reasons include issues like a flip switch, which I think has happened to me before, a dirty condenser. I know that's happened to me before.
How many times has your air gone?
A lot. It is on since I bought that house in 2016, almost every single year my AC has gone out, and they've replaced it twice because I've kept my home warranty. I know what people say, don't have the home warranty. It's a scam, but I've utilized that SOB.
How long did it take them to fix it though?
Yeah, that was that last time in 2023 where it took
Yeah,
them
you
like
should have called Pure Air Consultants.
Should have called beforehand. I should have had them service the thing. And check it out, because for over 40 years they've been delivering exceptional cooling systems to Central Mississippi, and they want to offer you a rare gift, which is a free labor warranty for 5 years, Lindsey.
That's can't beat that.
Yep, new connection build, thermostat installation, and more, and they also have financing available. So y'all, right now it's hot. Call them up. I bet they're packed and they're busy and they're scared, but you need to get them there before it goes out, because trust me, I've lived for a month in the house with no AC in July.
You can't,
it's not fun.
You didn't stay there.
No, I didn't. But I mean, I had to walk in the house to get stuff.
Yeah, and
I
well, I
didn't
mean, you
stay
saw
there. I
the
stayed in my office or my friend's house.
you saw the local news about the band students who they had to take a bunch of them to the hospital for overheating.
Yeah,
I guess they were practicing or something outside, and they shouldn't have those kids outside. It's way too hot for that.
yeah. It's just like when I was at CrossFit yesterday, and you were like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, it was hot." She's like, "Well, I mean, didn't they have AC?" I'm like, "We don't have AC at CrossFit.
I was like, well, that's ridiculous. That's not safe.
We don't have it. It's never most CrossFits don't. Some do, but not all of
Well,
them do."
that's insane. Another reason why I don't do CrossFit.
It is. It is.
Well,
Well,
hold on. I want to say something
yeah,
real quick.
sure.
So there was an announcement this morning, and I want to say congratulations to my good friend Tiffany Justice, who has just been named the vice president of Heritage Action, which is Heritage is the very conservative group, but they have another form of their organization called the Heritage Action Network, and so she was named the executive vice president this morning.
Oh, congratulations, Tiffany. So
Yeah,
good for her.
very proud of her.
We've been talking about the Epstein scandal, and at the break, we were discussing the setup to make Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Epstein's girlfriend, and I guess the prostitute procurer, whatever you want to put that, as the victim. So Newsmax ran a segment talking about how she's really the victim of Epstein. And the interesting, I was watching the little breakdown on the show Breaking Points, and they said that Alexander Acosta is on the board of Newsmax. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, I'll explain it to you. So Alexander Acosta made the deal with Epstein in 2008. Remember the subject of the documentary that Casey got out of, where he just all he had to do was plead to a state charge, and he got sentenced to essentially he was in jail, but he got 12 hours of release for a year and was able to do whatever he wanted and paid for his own conditions of confinement.
Wait, what? 12 hours? What does that mean?
Yeah, like he got to leave the jail for 12 hours.
A year?
No, a day.
Oh.
And for the whole year he's in jail, and he wasn't even at the real prison, state prison. He was at like this local sheriff's department, and he paid $128,000 to like upgrade his conditions of his confinement. He had 12 hours of work release a day. And this is the deal the federal prosecutors made with him, Alexander Acosta being the federal prosecutor at that time. He made that deal with him. And so they would, instead of federal charges, he pleaded to the state charge. So he served that year.
But he's on the client list.
Well, I mean, it's how did he get such a sweetheart deal? That's what you got to ask yourself. Like, how is that possible? And the part of that deal included that there was non-prosecution agreements for co-conspirators, including Ghislaine Maxwell. So that's what she's arguing right now to the Supreme Court, actually, on appeal, is that non-prosecution agreement from 2008 is applicable to the case stemming out of 2019. I don't know if that looks really good for her, but that's what she is saying, that is applicable to all this stuff. But yeah, so they just basically said that anybody that was associated with them, or we're making a plea deal, and you aren't getting prosecuted, and Epstein, you go to jail for a year, that you basically, you're like Pablo Escobar, you're building your own jail, and you can leave for 12 hours a day and just come here to sleep like it's a bad motel or something. And, I mean, that's it. That's what he had to do. And I mean, it's obvious to me that
he just slept there, basically.
He just slept there. Well, the obvious reason to me, Lindsay, is that they did that because if he starts getting up there and he's going to start naming people that they don't want named. And I don't know who those people are, but we assume that they're powerful enough for the federal government to make a deal like that. And now you've got a setup going on where Newsmax is talking about Ghislaine is the victim, and Alexander Acosta is sitting on the dang board of Newsmax. So, I mean, in the event there's a pardon, they want to make it to the public like, oh, well, see, that's why there's a pardon, because she was really the victim.
Do you think they're already starting this narrative of her being the victim because
100%.
There could be a pardon coming?
Yep, that's exactly what I think. I think they're trying to set it up.
Well, I don't know. What do y'all think? Listeners, what do you think? Do you think Ghislaine Maxwell is a victim? Because I think that's absurd. And you can call us 601-879-0002 is the line to call in here and let us know your thoughts on that. I can't imagine them being able to spin this as though she's the victim and then the entire country buy it. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, I'm with you. I don't see how they're trying to sell it. They're setting it up for the con job, the sale job. I just don't know how it works. Like, I guess what they're going to say is, well, it was worth it because she named X, Y, and Z bad rich guys. And that's what they're going to say. So it was worth it for her role, which was just,
well, she was
the worst part of it.
She was the worst one. She was like
the
most guilty one, other than maybe Jeffrey, who's dead either by suicide or murder. Who knows? Because I don't know that we'll ever get the real account of that, given even the fact that they released the video, but there's an entire minute missing. And then they said they were going to release the videos of every night and show that 1 minute is missing every night. It's something with it's an old system, blah, blah, blah.
Right,
But
true.
they haven't done that. They haven't showed us that every night there's the same minute missing. And you're never going to satisfy people unless there's a video of the entire time, but that he supposedly kills himself.
Yeah, I mean, and they want us to believe that the guards just fell asleep, and that's the time that
Yeah,
he
whatever.
you know, it's
And it
just,
also happened to be the same time that a minute is missing. Yeah, whatever. Come on.
yeah, it's a lot of it's hard to. You know,
I was
it's
born
hard
at night, but it wasn't last night.
right. I mean, a lot of it's hard to imagine that it would be true. And then this, I think, if this happens, it's going to make it. I think it's going to make it worse, and I think it'll make it worse on the president. To be honest, if he does it, because the people are just. I mean, I think most people, even if you're a hardcore supporter, is going to be like, "Wait a second here, why are you giving her a pardon? Like, she doesn't need a pardon."
No,
I mean, this
absolutely not.
that you and you know, I heard I was listening to Joe Rogan yesterday, and he kind of went off on it, talking about like, you guys have sold us this whole that all this stuff's in the files that you're going to release while you were running for election, and then you get there, and he had Kash Patel on a month ago, and Patel's like, well, and there's no list, and we've got the video, but you know, it shows that he killed himself, and that's it. Well, then are you lying now, or were you lying then? Is kind of the line. Like, when was the lie given? Like, you said you knew all this stuff was going to be there, but then you got there, so it's not there. So
How did he know all of that stuff was going to be there?
well, I'm assuming either, you know, he made it up or used it as, you know, for like a political tool to fan the flames of this thing. I think a lot of it was just, you know, I mean, just like kind of you do in campaigns. Yeah, we got all these people in the Epstein files. We're gonna show them, and then they're like, wait a second, we don't want to show all of them.
Do you think he's been fooled? Do you think they
Could
have
be.
really made him believe that Epstein killed himself? Because he came out saying that, you know, he has seen the evidence and he is 100% sure that Epstein actually did kill himself.
He did say that. Yeah, I think.
But I wonder if they have fooled him, even from the inside.
I mean, it could be, you know, because like Bongino looks like he's legitimately like emotional
struggling.
about this, right? So like with Dan Bongino, maybe some part of me thinks that Bongino really believed this, and maybe he's
Or still does.
Yeah, maybe his belief's not wrong, but that whatever they told him to do, like, hey, we're not releasing this because we've got too many people that we can't burn. And then that's what it seems like to me. Like, they're just like, wait a second, we're not going to do this.
Well, did you see his Bongino's tweet? I sent it to you over the weekend.
I read it.
Or not, but
No, I read it, and he got roasted for that too. They're like, and one of the things that I read, a breakdown of that was like, okay, Dan, again, you're trying to say you've got the evidence, all these conspiracies. Well, show us the evidence this time, then.
instead of cryptic.
That's what the criticism was. Stop doing this cryptic.
Yeah, he
stuff.
says like the investigations into matters have shocked him to his core. We cannot run a republic like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. So what is it that you've learned? Tell us.
That's exactly what the criticism was, and I think that's right. It's like you played this game with Epstein before. You guys didn't do anything, and now you're like trying to do it on another. Well, tell us what it is. What's so shocking that we can't know about right now, but you can send a cryptic message out to distract from the Epstein thing, which
Transparency
is what's
breeds trust. I
Right.
say it all the time, and that's never going to change. Transparency breeds trust, and things should be done in the sunshine, in the light.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And I think, I thought that tweet was a really bad idea on his part if he wasn't gonna, because like, you know, what's the?
It's kind of
what's
like
this
he wants to let his base know, hey, I'm still the same guy. I'm still working on these things. You know, kind of like maybe he's getting criticism for going along with saying, let's forget about the Jeffrey Epstein files. But now he wants to let his base know, I still believe this is happening, and I'm still working on it from the inside.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that he's just trying to cover his own butt pretty much, and it just didn't go over very well. Well, we're going to discuss. We're actually going to move on topics. Something dear and to Lindsey's heart.
Yes, we are. And I
education.
don't like the way you worded this in the show notes, so I'm ready to discuss it.
Discuss the Republican possible porn scandal out of Oklahoma. So we will
Absurd, ridiculous,
Lindsey thinks it's
lies,
absurd.
untrue.
We will get into that on the next segment on Crossing the Aisle. Crossing the Aisle.
1039 WYAB.
I'm Shaun Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom. First as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
Peace, love, and pizza. Happy holidays from Johnny's Pizza House. Try our new cauliflower crust today. 10 inches of crunchy good vibes for a limited time only. Groove on in and share a slice today. Peace, love, and pizza from Johnny's Pizza House.
Win free pizza for a year this summer at Johnny's Pizza House. Your pizza's already a work of art. Now, let it win you free pizza for a year. Just snap a pic with your favorite pizza and enter to win at johnnysph.com/share-my-slice. Peace, love, and pizza at Johnny's Pizza House.
CBS News Brief. New York's Mayor Eric Adams says a gunman who killed 4 people at a Manhattan office building had an apparent grievance over a brain disease linked to head trauma.
He appeared to have blamed the NFL for his injury.
The attack has raised questions about how the suspect was able to walk into a building carrying such a large weapon. As the Palestinian death toll in Gaza surpasses 60,000, the British Prime Minister has announced the UK will recognize a Palestinian state in September unless Israel agrees to a ceasefire. That's also the month the UN General Assembly meets.
No one should have a veto over our decision.
It is another sweltering day across much of the U.S. in Grand Rapids.
It's absolutely steaming hot. I don't know how hot it is, but it is hot.
It feels like it's in the triple digits, even in the Northeast. On Wall Street, stocks are lower. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
We would like to invite you to visit our retirement community, which is not only beautiful, but affordable as well. I'm Rhonda Brown, director at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland. Our team members are passionate about making our residents' life easier and more enjoyable. We have fun-filled educational and entertaining activities, plus daily exercise that will help with your stamina and balance. Call us at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland, 601-856-6131.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Tools, paint, mowers, equipment parts, service, and rentals are all under one roof at Hometown Hardware in Flora. Hometown Hardware has what you need and professional staff to steer you in the right direction. Hometown Hardware carries top brands like Hustler, Steel, and Milwaukee. Hometown Hardware even has a full lumber yard, paint matching, pool water testing, propane filling, key cutting, and much more. Hometown Hardware, Highway 49 in Flora.
Why should you choose Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating for all service or installation? Well, they purchase all parts directly from the manufacturer. All of their factory-trained technicians have been hand-selected for skill, work ethic, and experience. There are never any hidden fees or charges. Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating is dedicated to your complete satisfaction, and they're family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial service or installation, contact Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating, 601-317-0729, or make an appointment through their Facebook page.
Come together.
And we're back on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey, where we just broke down the Epstein scandal for the 422nd time on the show, right, Lindsey?
Yeah, something like that. It's not going away.
No, it doesn't seem like it is anytime soon, but it'll be something I think that's going to captivate us for the rest of the summer at least, and maybe even longer. Who knows? So I don't know. Well, it's how long has it been going on now? About a month, pretty hardcore, I guess, right after 4th of July. I think we're at that point. And so we'll see. But we did want to move on to something else that, again, is in Lindsey's realm and also mine in terms of hilarity. There's a state superintendent, Ryan Walters in Oklahoma, has been the subject of a
best superintendent in the country, by the way.
Though the state is ranked 50th in education, mind you. So that's debatable.
Well, and that's what he's working on. He's working to change that.
He's had some time to do that, hasn't he, at this point? Wasn't he elected in 2022?
I mean, it takes a while, especially post-COVID.
But how can you call him the best in the country if they're 50th?
Because he is.
Okay.
And that's just a fact.
By any metric, he's not, but that's fine. We'll move on to this one.
Oh
so he's under investigation after 2 members of the Oklahoma State Board of Education reported seeing explicit images.
After 2 members of the Board of Education lied about a man's character.
Seeing explicit images of nude women on a television in his office during a closed-door executive session. A 3rd member confirmed something inappropriate appeared based on Walters' reaction. Walters has denied all wrongdoing, calling the allegations politically motivated and insisting he had no knowledge what was on the screen and whether his device was involved. A growing number of top state lawmakers, including both Republicans and Democrats, have called for a transparent probe into the incident. The Oklahoma County Sheriff's Department, at the request of state authorities, has opened an inquiry, even while it remains unclear whether any laws were broken. So and y'all, just give you a background. Walters is a big love Jesus 27% more than his opponent guy. So that's why I think they're making a big deal of it, because he's he bought Bibles for the schools and tried to put them in the schools, and he's a big religious guy. So that's where I think this comes out into, everybody's making a big deal about it in my mind. Right?
He spoke at our Philadelphia summit.
Who is Moms for Liberty?
Moms for Liberty. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. You showed me that before. Well, yeah. So he's real big into, like I said, religious content. He's very, very pro-Trump, very big into that kind of stuff. The 2020 election, as well as anti-LGBT policies, according to what I'm reading here. And he's I think he bought, what was it, 3 million Trump endorsed Bibles? Is that correct? What you read the other night?
Not the Trump Bible.
Or the Trump
like people are saying that
the Bible that Trump gets a fee off of, though, is what I read. That he does get a fee for it. And there was some, I guess, there's been a stop of whether he can put that in every classroom. To me, Lindsey, just reading everything the last couple of days, he seems like a very kind of shameless self-promoter kind of guy.
No, I don't believe that at all. Let me tell you what he stands for. He stands for putting parents back in control of their children's education, rejecting radical agendas, and demanding excellence and accountability, getting rid of these teachers' unions who we know are a big problem within the education system. That's what he stands for, and that's what he's working on, and he is making progress. And this political attack on him is absurd, and this needs to stop. These politically charged attacks on the character of a good man and good people need to stop. This is outrageous. If the man did, for some known reason, have porn somewhere, it dang sure wouldn't be on his school TV in his office that he is going to show before the Board of Education during an executive session. Get real.
Okay, so why do you think these board members are making? Because apparently there's 2 that saw it and 1 that.
And by the way, these 2 were just put on the board
by the Republican governor. I read
just a few months
appointed
ago.
By the governor. The entire state, y'all, is overwhelmingly Republican. So we're not really talking about a liberal conspiracy, which I'm sure Walters is going to try to blame it on. I got no doubt.
Well, he said that these falsehoods are the desperate tactics of a broken establishment afraid of real change. They aren't just attacking me; they're attacking the values of the Oklahomans who elected me to challenge the status quo. I will not be distracted. My focus remains on making Oklahoma the best state in the nation in every category. And my thought process is this: if this was a device that was in his office at the school, or at the offices of the superintendent of Oklahoma schools, then they should be able to pull what was on that TV.
Well, I mean, I think the sheriff's department's going to do that now. It looks like that.
And Ryan, he welcomes it, and he's actually even asked that it be released immediately.
Okay, and so I mean, they're gonna do that. They'll assume they'll get to the bottom of that. It's pretty. I used to deal with a lot of that as a prosecutor in terms of getting to phones. The AG's office actually used to have a really good division to do that, looking at all that kind of data. So they'll be able to find out. I mean, it's not going to be, you're not going to, I think we'll see whether that happened or not.
It didn't.
Well, I mean, like I said, they'll get to the bottom of it. It did interesting to me though, how many the Republicans seem to be the first ones to kind of believe this. What I noticed from
I
even the
think
Speaker
there
of
is
the Oklahoma House. And
I think there's a big pool of some hardcore rhino Republicans
well, I
in the
mean,
state of Oklahoma.
you call them rhinos, but I mean, before the guy, I mean, the state is 50th in education. It's got the lowest ACT scores in the country. Like, I could see why people don't think he's doing a good job, because by any metric, he's not.
Yes, he is.
But
He
which
is.
metrics?
Hold on. There have been numerous things that have happened recently that show he is doing an amazing job. They are bringing the American Virtual Academy into the state of Oklahoma. That's one of the huge announcements that they've just made. They are, which I mean, they fought the teachers union on that. So he's winning. He's making strides over there, and he's doing it in a way that, again, the biggest issue for me is putting parents back in the driver's seat and in control of their children's education, and that's what he's working on doing, removing the unions and bringing the parents back into the driver's seat and into control. And he is making strides there. And there are some people that I guess just don't like that.
Well, but I mean, also you would agree that like positive educational outcomes like reading scores, math scores are important too. How well the students are doing, and apparently they're doing the worst in the nation. So, I mean, I think that's an issue. I mean, I think there's no other way to look at that. If you're having the lowest scores in the entire country,
let the man do his job.
Well, he's had his job for 2.5 years, and that's. I
mean, Shaun, do you really think that you can make huge strides in a whole entire state in just a few years? It takes time.
What were the test scores? I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea what their scores are.
Well, it seems like he's focusing on political issues more than he's actually educational
Those
issues.
political issues are big deals. Those political issues that he's focusing on are big deals when it comes to education. You know how I feel about these issues.
But it's not helping anybody get a better reading score, it seems like, according to the
I
testing.
think he is working on those things too.
I mean, it seems to be that should be his focus, is like, how do I get my math scores
I
up?
think there are a lot of things that are,
and not
his
whether
focus.
I need to get a Bible in the classroom. Like, I think that should be the focus over that. Like, how are these kids going to be prepared for life, whether than I'm going to put a Bible in every classroom? Which, I mean, I
completely disagree with you. I think that's the backbone of being a good person in life. And how are we going to stop all this culture rot is a Bible. Sorry,
I mean,
that's my opinion.
I believe they blocked it too, because I mean, it's a separation between church and state. Obviously, it's an issue there.
Whatever.
So, I mean, yeah, I know. I think what more importantly would be to have the reading scores, the math scores, educational outcomes positive, rather than he's pushing all these culture wars. That's what it seems like he's doing.
Yeah, I think the heart issues of the heart of children and teaching them right from wrong is more important than anything.
Then if they can read,
I mean, reading is important, obviously, but I also think that this other stuff that he is attempting to remove is good. They don't need gender studies. They don't need these pornographic books. He's fought hard against that. So, I mean, I think especially given the fact that he's had such a stance on that, the last thing he would risk being caught doing is having porn on his school TV. It's just outrageous.
But I mean, we've seen
definitely a political attempt
we've
to
seen
assassinate his character.
Legislators, politicians that have been anti-porn or they're super religious, that come out in a huge sex scandal. We see that all the time, right? I mean, it happens a lot. Wouldn't you agree with me on that? I mean, it happens a lot.
Yeah, we've seen that happen. Yeah, there was just one in South Carolina
that y'all had endorsed.
Right? No, we see. I hate it when you do that.
Okay,
you say things that are not true.
Well, explain it to me. Then.
Okay, this is what Shaun does when he gets something in his head that he likes and he thinks that that goes good for whatever his opinion is on the subject. It sticks, even when I show him proof that that's not exactly what happened.
Well, tell me what happened.
Okay, we don't endorse in any other elections other than school board elections.
But he was like the legislator of the year. He gave him an award.
We gave him a award for helping get the parental bill of rights passed in South Carolina.
It. I got it wrong.
There was no endorsement.
But you gave him
there
an
was
award.
a thank you. There was a thank you for helping us get this done, regardless of what the man did in his personal life. He did help get that legislation through the state of South Carolina. Parental Bill of Rights.
Okay, but then he was arrested for like tons of child porn. Is that right?
Yes, and we have made a statement, and we are sickened by that. It's disgusting, and we hate that he doesn't have the character that we would have wished he had, but he still did a good job getting that legislation through.
I'm guessing he was a big family values type conservative, right?
I don't follow South Carolina politics.
But my point of the whole thing is, just because you're outwardly this religious family values conservative doesn't mean you can't be.
Yeah, I mean, Shaun Tyndall was posting Bible verses on his Facebook yesterday morning. So
okay. I mean, that's
he obviously
fine.
didn't read the part about the widow and the orphans in the Bible, but he skipped through that.
Okay, well then, I mean, so that's what I'm saying. People can be hypocritical, isn't that true? I mean, so just because Ryan Walters is trying to get Bibles in the classroom, but the problem is none of the students can read, so I don't know how good that is. Then, I mean, doesn't mean that he can't have watched porn, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it doesn't mean that that's not possible.
I didn't say that it's not possible he watched porn. I said it's not possible that he had porn on his school TV.
Right. But you're saying, but I mean, if it were, I mean, it's not out of the realm of thought that
Yes,
somebody that would push religion that hard could be a hypocrite because it
No,
happens
I'm
all the
not
time.
saying that. I'm not saying that's not the case with some people.
Yeah,
that's
You're
not
just
the
saying
case.
it's the case with him.
It's not the case here. He didn't have porn on his school TV.
Okay, and look, I'm not saying they've proven that yet, and I don't know what happened there. I'm just saying that wouldn't be shocking if it's true.
Well,
because it happens all the time. The ones that are the most religious.
He's not
always,
stupid. Obviously, he's not a stupid man. He was elected superintendent of the entire state. He's not stupid.
I mean, a lot of people get elected that aren't that smart. We both agree on that. I mean, it doesn't mean necessarily just because you want an elected.
Well, I think very highly of him. I think this is just an all-out assassination attempt of his character, and I think this needs to stop with these political attacks like this.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting to follow this one, see how it turns out. I'll tell one thing. I'll agree with Lindsey. It doesn't seem like enough evidence yet in it to me. I told her this the other night. I think that the guy is an a-hole and that other people and the politicians don't like him. That's kind of what I think's happening. So I will agree with that. I think he's an a-hole.
I think he's a wonderful human being,
and they don't like him.
You didn't even know who he was until yesterday.
Well, I read all about him, and I'm like, I could see, like, I hate this guy already. But like,
you hate this guy because he cares about children and wants to get the radical gender ideology out of
no,
school.
Because he's promoting an agenda over educational outcomes.
No, he's not.
Yes,
no, he's not, Shaun. He's not.
Okay, that's what I'm reading.
There, you can be concerned with more than one issue. In fact, there are lots of issues in public schools that we need to be concerned.
But I was going to say this: just because I feel that way about him, just like I look at this way with criminal defendants, I feel that way, doesn't mean he's guilty of this. That's what I was going to finish off with saying.
He's not guilty.
And I don't see enough evidence yet that it's true. So I'm siding with him on being not guilty at this point, even though I don't like him.
Well, I think he's an amazing superintendent, and I think he's going to do wonderful things in the state of Oklahoma, and I think they're going to clear his name very soon.
And hopefully that wonderful things will include teaching somebody to read. And we will
that
be back
will happen
on the next segment. Bye.
1039 WYAB.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like the Kubota L-Series compact tractor, the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., C-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available, or save up to $3,500. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Divini Equipment, serving you in Madison and Jackson. Stop, call, or click at DiviniEquipment.com.
Peace, love, and pizza. It's Collie Days at Johnny's Pizza House. Load up the crew and hit the road with nothing but good vibes and better pizza. It's all about that crunchy new cauliflower crust, 10 inches of baked bliss, light, crispy, and full of flavor. It's the ultimate slice for summer chilling. Best enjoyed with sunshine and good company. Nothing but love served one slice at a time. But don't wait. This trip's for a limited time only. Peace, love, and pizza. Happy Collie Days from Johnny's Pizza House.
What's the magic secret to losing weight? Why, it's diet and exercise, of course. So grab an apple and get moving with Next Generation Fitness in Gluckstead. Next Generation Fitness is open 24/7, so you can get fit on any schedule. Work out in a positive environment, whether you need a personal trainer, boot camp class, or just prefer to do your own routine. You can finally get healthy and look good at Next Generation Fitness. At only $10 per month, including unlimited tanning, what do you have to lose? Other than those unwanted pounds. Next Generation Fitness, Plantation Cove, just off exit 112 in Gluckstead. If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Cork and Door Company has been providing quality residential garage and commercial overhead door products to Mississippians for over 50 years. Cork and Door is a supplier of garage door parts and services such as LiftMaster, commercial and residential door operators, as well as Clopay, sectional commercial and residential doors, Asta, commercial sheet and rolling steel doors, and Cornell, rolling steel and shutters, with many in stock for the same-day pickup. CorkandDoor.com. That's CorkandDoor.com.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty. And right now, receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
Are you hosting an event? Let Burgers Blues Barbecue handle the food while you enjoy the moment. From an important lunch to a dreamy wedding, B3 Catering is sure to please everyone. Find Burgers Blues Barbecue online and click the catering tab, or just give us a call. And when you're dining out, visit Burgers Blues Barbecue in Flowood, Brandon, or Madison for incredible plates served fresh daily. Burgers Blues Barbecue and B3 Catering, a delicious combination.
Come together right now.
And we're back on Crossing the Aisle with Shaun and Lindsey to finish up the show for today. We will again be out of town in Hawaii starting tomorrow. So we'll have Kingfish from Jackson Jambalaya to come talk about himself and all the articles that he writes and everything he likes doing.
Don't listen to anything he says about raw milk or vaccines. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh, he had an article. I haven't read it. I didn't read
Ridiculous.
it. Did you read the raw milk thing?
Raw milk is great for you.
Okay. I don't know anything about raw milk. I don't drink milk, but I saw an article on Kingfish's site. I'm sure he'll break that down. He told me he had a lot of good stories he was ready to explain to everybody. So I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy that. It's always interesting listening to Kingfish talk about what's on his site.
Yes, it is. He's always interesting.
Yeah, it is. It'll be. I think he said he's even going to have former Mayor Phil Fisher show up one day, and they're going to shoot it out and talk about that.
Hadn't he already been on here with him?
I think he was. Before we were out of town last time. So,
for all the attorneys out there, while we're gone, no ChatGPT. It doesn't work out well for you. When you say that.
We ran out of time to get to that, but I mean, the attorneys have filed in Alabama with Butler Snow filed briefs with fake case law from ChatGPT.
You can that's one thing ChatGPT is not. You cannot use ChatGPT for bill language, whether a bill was passed or not, and case law. It just doesn't get it right. It's just not there yet.
I mean, I remember the first time I wrote a motion with it. I saw the cases. I'm like, man, these look too good. Like, because I've been researching law for the last 20 years, and it's hard to find a case that exactly fits your fact pattern. And all the cases perfectly fit. And I'm like, someone checked them, thankfully, and then I'm like, wait, this one, they would be the case, but it'd be the wrong, wouldn't say what the ChatGPT said the case said.
Right, exactly.
It's all wrong. So I was like, okay, well, thank God I looked at this.
Well, they'll tell you that bills were passed that didn't even get it out of committee. That died in committee.
Exactly. So don't use ChatGPT to research the law, lawyers. And we will miss you all for the next few days, but we will see you next Tuesday on Crossing the Aisle.
See ya.